As you might know, Women's Intercultural Network has been leading a campaign to implement all over, it's a national campaign, to implement the CEDAW ordinance in every city. Women's Intercultural Network is the peer leader for the civil society along with the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, along with the San Francisco Department on the Status of Women, who's leading the Cities for CEDAW campaign on the government side. I think that's a good example how campaigns that are pushing for improvement, for policy change, are more effective or are effective if they're led along in collaboration, civil society and the government. I think it's very important to kind of find your own collaborative partners on both sides. So as Julianne mentioned, there have been already several cities who would have signed on to CEDAW resolution, who also added, and they're going for the ordinance. The most recent successes stories has been, the most recent, what I noticed, is Eugene, Oregon, just signed a resolution on CEDAW. And if you're curious and to know more on this campaign, and if you want to encourage in your cities, maybe you don't have ordinance yet or resolution signed for CEDAW, you can find all the information, resources on the website, Cities for CEDAW website, where there is a toolkit, how to organize in your city, what do you need, what kind of partnerships, who should be included in the campaign. It's very important to be very diverse and very inclusive, so that all voices are being heard. So this Cities for CEDAW is one of the examples for collaboration between civil society and government, and and the importance of civil society. Another very important project that WIN has been leading is the CAWA, California Women's Agenda. California Women's Agenda, again, the idea is bringing the global local, which is, in 1995, WIN brought back from Beijing the idea of the Beijing Platform for Action and implemented it on the local level. As we know, every 5 years, UN Commission on the Status of Women has a review. Every government has to submit a review, what has been changed, achievements and ongoing barriers for women. And also, it's very important. So it's very important that NGO, civil society, gives another viewpoint to these reviews, because they're often more critical and also more inclusive. What institutions cannot do, and although they might inspire to inclusiveness and diversity, they often, as we know, lack that. So I think it's very important that civil society and NGOs kind of fill that gap that institutions cannot provide. And so I think it's very important for NGOs to do reporting, what's going on in your city, in your county, in your state, in your nation, and give that kind of alternative viewpoint. So CAWA has been organizing and collecting reports for the past 5 years on the status of women in California. And at the moment, we're releasing those reports. And as you might know, we're non-profit, we're volunteers. So often it's sometimes challenging to collect all those issues. There's 12 main issues, women's and girls. So far, we've collected several. It's on our website. If you would like to read some of those reports, you can go to Women's Intercultural Network website, click on CAWA, California Women's Agenda, and you'll see several reports on economic justice, on education, media, violence against women. There's also several videos from previous Women's Equality Day meetings. So there you can also read more on the mission and the vision of CAWA.